What if I told you a children's book about farm animals is the most accurate political manual ever written? George Orwell wrote Animal Farm in 1945. It is, on the surface, a story about animals who overthrow their farmer. They want freedom, equality, and a better life. But Orwell wasn't writing about animals. He was writing about every revolution that ever ate its own children. The animals of Manor Farm rebel against Mr. Jones, their cruel, drunk, negligent master. They win. They rename it Animal Farm. They write 7 commandments on the barn wall. The most important one: all animals are equal, beautiful, clean, just. And then slowly, quietly, everything changes. The pigs, being the most intelligent, take charge of organizing. Reasonable enough, right? But one pig, Napoleon, begins to consolidate. He drives out his own rival, Snowball, the visionary, the idealist. Sounds familiar, right? But then he rewrites history. He uses a dog army to silence dissent. He employs Squealer, his propagandist, to explain why everything that is happening is actually good for the animals. He says, "Surely, comrades, you do not want Jones to come back, right?" That one line, used every time an animal dares to question. Fear as governance, oldest trick in Power's playbook. Remember, all animals are equal. By the end of the book, it reads, all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. Orwell doesn't explain this. He doesn't need to. That single line is the entire history of how revolutions fail, how liberation movements become the new oppression, how the language of equality is weaponized to justify hierarchy. Orwell was writing about Stalinist Russia specifically. The pigs are the Communist Party elite. Napoleon is Stalin. Snowball is Trotsky. The sheep who bleat party slogans on command, look around, they are everywhere. But here's what makes Animal Farm immortal. It is not about Russia. It is not about 1945. It is about the mechanics of power itself. The moment a movement gains power, the temptation to become what it fought against is the oldest human tragedy. The creatures outside looked from pig to man, and from man to pig, and from pig to man again, but already it was impossible to say which was which. Orwell wrote that as an ending. It wasn't pessimism, it was a warning, one we keep failing to hear. I hope that today you were able to learn something new from this video. If you like it, like and subscribe.